The coming dusk brought the bustling city of Zionica to a lull as the evening advanced. The scribe made his way to the tavern to fulfill his contract he received by courier the day before. Born in the small village of Tavia, this contract of 80 dinars was too lucrative for him to pass up. He feared that this contract carried other weight, as such a fee for a night of transcription had never been heard of before in his lifetime. He approached the tavern door and pushed his way inside the cacophony of clattering mugs, laughing soldiers, and swooning harlots. He loosed his cloak from over his head and raised a hand to the tavern keeper. "Good sir," he said as he fiddled for his contract in his robes, "I'm looking for a man who's said to have taken residence here on his way through the wilds." "I?" the keeper said, turning his head to the scribe while cleaning a mug from behind the counter. "Many travelers come to this place. Do you have a name?" Finally, pulling out the letter, he quickly glanced and looked back at the bartender. Waekun? Waekun the Wanderer? The keeper's face curled at the name, and his relatively pleasant demeanor changed abruptly. He slammed the mug on the counter and leaned heavy into the scribe from across the bar. "Waekun the Wanderer, eh?" He looked the scribe up and down, meticulously studying his garments with his piercing gaze. The scribe wore simple hemp robes, with a light violet scarf and head covering, as was custom of his people in the Southern Empire. He had a light bushy brown beard, with matted hair and slate-gray eyes. The keeper eased his stare. "Well, you're no slaver, nor bounty hunter by the looks of it. Are you here to settle his tab?" "Oh, no, sir," he stumbled and muttered, disarmed by the keeper's gaze. "He sent word out for a contract. I am merely a chronicler. Does he take residence here?" "Aye, upstairs, room 3. Battered man. Pitiful look of defeat on his face. Can't miss him. Tell him to settle his tab before setting out tomorrow, or there'll be hell to pay. Mark my words, scribe." And he turned around, picked up the glass, and began polishing it again, as if nothing had transpired between the two of them. The scribe backed away from the counter, and pushed his way through the ruckus recruits scattered about the tavern, and made his way up the stairs towards room 3. He lightly rapped on the door. "Sir? Waekun? Sir?" he spoke. A booming, "Come in," came from the other side of the door, and he creaked the handle as he entered. "Sir, I am a chronicler from Tavia. I have received word you have use for my services. Surely, you will see I am one of the most qualified." His voice fell off as he gazed upon the man, standing in the corner of the room. There was a single candle lit on the table in front of this accurately described, battered man. The fire flickered against his fierce aquamarine eyes, which stood stalwart against his charcoal gray skin. His face, either scarred or painted with dark black lines, bore no resemblance to any man he'd ever seen before in these lands. Waekun motioned to the chronicler with a wave and a pat on the table in front of him. "Come closer. Let me see you for the man you are." As the chronicler stepped forward, he saw the man's wrists were raw and wrapped with bloody bandages. His face, while ferocious with the markings, carried a sadness that traversed the realm. This man had seen much. He certainly had a story to tell, the chronicler thought. "I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I appreciate you heeding my request for contract. My name is Waekun, leader of the Wanderers. You may have heard of me?" he said, looking up from the table side. "Waekun, my name is Shep the Chronicler. I hail from the small town of Tavia, so I mean you no disrespect, but I have not heard any tale of your travels." He pulled out the contract again from his robe. "However, we will change that, this night. I am here to listen and to write. Good, good. I know not of this land or of its people, its language or its history, but I fully intend to spread the word of my travels through both pitfall and triumph throughout the countryside. I have drafted this contract for it to be done, but it does come at a cost to you. I understand you've traveled day and night to get here, of which I am grateful, but you see, I am a wanderer by heart. I know not where my next bed will be, nor am I satisfied in the bed that I lay. If you accept this contract, you will be compensated 80 dinars per manuscript to help cover the cost of travel and lodging. I will arrange our meetings by courier, and should you heed the call, the contract is yours. Do you agree to these terms? Shep practically choked at Waekun's statement. He did not know the rates for the scribes in this land, nor cost of lodging. This man bleeds dinars, though he does not wear it in his disheveled appearance. He put a hand to his beard and stroked it for a moment. 80 dinars seems a fair price, all things considered, and, he paused, I will also use my influence and networks to pass along and spread these words in a publication to the masses. However, he trailed, at the cost of printing and distribution, it could easily add up, he added. Waekun lifted his hand from the table, shuffling off the remark, and spoke calmly. The tales I have to share hold more value than this country's gold could bear. 100 dinars should suffice? He pulled out a sack of coin from his pouch and placed the payment on the table. My glory and ascension need be heard and read by all peoples. No longer will towns such as Tevea not know of my name or of the Wanderers. If such is the cost, then here is the payment. Shep pulled out his quill and tome and ready to write, trying very hard not to show the excitement in his face at the payment lying just inches from his fingers. No, there is no glory to tell tonight, Shep. You can pack your tomes and payment. Waekun rubbed his bandaged wrists. Rather use my payment to send out word for a man named Larkin of the Wanderers. He, like myself, is a stranger to this land, and I feel something foul has befallen him. Use your network and bring me again word in a week's time. There will be glories to be recounted then. Now, though, I need my rest. You may take your leave. With a sway of his arm, he motioned to the door and snuffed out the candle on the table. Shep bowed lightly. Thank you, sir. I will await your courier and will bring you any and all news I have of your comrade Larkin. May the new dawn shine brightly on you. He slid the coin from the table into his pouch and left hurriedly, not knowing of the adventures to come.